Hello, I'm Renee Thomas with Sockeye Consulting, and today we're going to take a deep dive into quality control and safety through Sage Construction Management's software. So, as you enter your project at the bottom and go to your quality control and safety overview, this is what will pop up first. So, you have your prerequisites, which is just project directory items, as well as your related functions. So immediately you'll be able to hyperlink to any quality control and safety items that have due dates will end up on a calendar that you can take a look at, as well as you can go to my quality control and safety items, and this will give you a checklist of items that are assigned specifically to you for responsibility. It gives you what your closed are, what your open are, when they're due, whether it's in less than 7 days or in 7 days or they're overdue, and then any responses received in the last 7 days regarding those. So it just gives you a nice overview of anything that's pertinent for you to complete and keep your project managed in a safe and controlled manner. You also have your team open items that you can easily hyperlink to. So this is anything that you have made one of your vendors, employees, subcontractors, supervisors responsible for. They'll all show up here, and it'll give them an idea of when they're due, doing 7 days or overdue. That way you can reach out to them in regards to where they're at with the status of that if it's appearing to be taking quite a long time to get there. Next is your quality control stats. So this will be any of your checklists. These can be created as a template that you import into your projects, or you can create them as you go along. So you can have a pre-construction checklist, you can have a site visit checklist, whatever checklists that you use often would be things that you could make a template in the system that can easily be imported, and then you can check them right off. I'll open up one so you can kind of get an idea. So this is a shop drawings review, and it has a multitude of items currently with descriptions, who's responsible for them, and whether they've been complete. So we can have that created. The next section is your compliance notice sections. So bring one of these up, and as you'll see, it's protective equipment that needed to be used. This gets sent out to your subcontractor or whoever on site you need to notify. It keeps a record of that they were given this notification, as well as it can be emailed out of the system and responded to in the system. That way you can keep track of everything. There is a response section here that they can enter. You would put a due date of your choosing, and they would have a response date and what their response was. And then you would be able to keep track of that those things were handled. You also have a permit section. This allows you to say what kind of permit it is, as well as when it's due, any permit numbers related, as well as a copy of it. You can make comments, you can set what the status is, and you can link any other files related to the permits as well. So again, it just manages all of your paperwork and documentation in one place. Punch list is very similar to the checklist in that you can create it, and it can be used to give responsible companies so they know what theirs is. On top of all that, because everything's within the system, you can send out emails that has a grouping of all open items for specific companies or people that have multiple jobs they're working on for you and multiple open items. Your test and inspections can also be run through here, so you'll have all of that entered into this system as well. So it'll have any tests that you need to do, with the general information and description, any references, and how often it has to occur, as well as any samples and test results that you receive. You can link any files related to this as well. All these items are also printable, both as like a single one-off item or as a report that has multiple over a certain period of time. Again, you have your site hazard assessments that can be created in the system as well. So you do your assessments. It has who the site inspectors are, any items that need to be addressed, and then any linked files. And you have safety incidents. So any safety incidents that occur, you can keep track of them. And you get a description, any violations, any corrective action that needs to happen. If there was a financial or lost time impact, you put those in. Any personal injuries or property equipment damages, any witnesses, and then you can add any files, whether it is you have some paperwork from the field staff or otherwise, you can add that to it. And again, you can print a report of all these with all of that attached. Safety meetings can also be tracked through here in a very similar way to your regular just project meetings. So it keeps everything set up. You have your general notes, you have who attended, any safety items that were discussed, and then any linked files as well as any sent emails in regards to this meeting. Down at the bottom is a pretty nice breakdown of your status summary based on the due date. So any of these items that have open items to complete will be added in here. So you'll be able to see what's overdue and what has an upcoming or closed date. So these are closed items, this is overdue items, and then they would have a third section for anything that has a due date upcoming. So it keeps everything broken down where you can get at quick glance what's the most pertinent items to set up in your schedule to have completed. That is the Sage Construction Management Quality Control and Safety feature. I enjoyed discussing it with you guys. Thank you for listening.